And very few people have responded to difficult situations.
Yeah.
Most of them basemajele and uzoquota i-experience efana nekamthu. Asho ukuthi my father disowned me, umama wami bahlukana, kwenzeka ABC. Very few people are ukuthi in the midst of all that. I came through, and this is who I am. I made it. So we need to use even our weak points lapho sihambe kabi khona. So wenze sibe stronger Zenzele going forward.
Welcome to my space. My life and journey is one of ups and downs. Life can be very challenging, but it's when we open up that we find our solace. Let's heal. Let's grow. Let's cry. And you know what? Laugh together. Welcome to Conversations with Zenzele. Your girl next door.
Sure. Let's talk about now that we've unpacked, I think, different stories and your backgrounds and where you are and working. Us as women, there's a lot of silent struggles that others, yes, not so silent, but Zenzele, at the time when it's Zenzele, it's you. There are a lot of silent struggles that men go through. And yes, the whole not talking, yes, men as hunters, we keep quiet, do this and all that. There's a space for us women that we occupy to a point whereby we don't even allow men to be themselves in those silent struggles, because your boy's corner, your silent, whatever that you are going through, we then want to poke and find out Tulele, what's going on? Awukhulumi nami, and we push as well, but you do go through those silent struggles. Help me or help us as women to understand, maybe from the men's perspective, to say, as much as you go through stuff as a woman, we go through stuff as men. We are maybe silently deal with them this way, but it doesn't necessarily mean if I don't talk about them, there's something wrong that you are doing as a partner, or I feel, you're not there to listen, or you will not guide me and all that. Men normally have their silent struggle and they deal with them like this, and it has nothing to do with you. And help us understand that when that's why you have different silent struggles. Funimali, abantwana, baby daddies. There's a lot of things that you cannot tell us. There's a book that I was reading, I bought it a long time ago, Yet You Married Him. At the time I bought it, I thought, it is man, that's not what I want. I want a divorce. I want all the issues as wrong about this man, so that I can feel comfortable. But there's one particular story that she was talking about, Yet You Married Him, where you find a woman marrying umuntu wesilisa who has kids outside, and then uba nabantwana here at home. And this man's struggle is, I can't see these kids because I chose you, and I need to be here for the kids, these ones. And sometimes there are times where I cannot be at that school soccer game or awards night and all that, because there's whatever your baby mama issues and all that. I'm dealing with it. It's my life. It is as is. There's nothing I can do, because it's either umvalela ngaphandle, and now I have these ones. And sometimes I feel like I don't want to go to that sport. Yeah, long nae. And you're going to be loud and say, awuyanga kuphi, while I'm dealing with my struggles, to say, I'm here and there's my other kids that I want to be with and do stuff with. But I just want to silently deal with it, because that's all there is. I cannot change it. I feel horrible that I'm not there for my other kids. And I must be there for, yes, my kids, but your kids. Don't pester me or want me to talk about it or do anything. There's nothing I can do. And then when I, as a mother, we are what? And then she says, yet you married him knowing very well that he has other kids. And he will feel a lot of emotions about not being present. And it's his silent struggle. Let's talk about those silent struggles and how, as women, we can get to understand those silent struggles, whether you want to come and share or not. How do we make it, whether comfortable or easy, for us to let you be?
Tulani. I think the first thing that I will say, it's Tulani. You know, sometimes the silent struggles that we find ourselves as men is avoid a name pendling. And because of you don't want battles as unnecessary, you keep quiet. If you're looking at kids, my kids, your kids, our kids situation, that situation, Nijole always would have got 5 kids. You marry me, you know I've got 5 kids. But when we were dating, you were okay with my kids. But the minute there is a change in surname, you have a problem with my kids. So it needs to start there to say the conversations must not wait for marriage. I always have a problem to say some of these conversations are relationship stage, where we don't talk about these things in relationships, but we expect to have these conversations in marriage. Somebody once said, Uti, before you get married, can I see your ITC report? Let me give you my ITC report. Let me show you my expenses, show me your expenses before we get married, so that I know what am I putting myself in. So that by the time Shada, I know what you red flagged. So you can't get a house for the next 10 years because we're trying to sort out your finances. But we keep quiet about these things. When we come into relationships, I might have dealt with 5 women that have cheated on me and I never told you. I might have dealt with an absent father, but I never told you. I might have dealt with poverty from Ekaya, and I've never told you. And certain things, when they start happening in marriage, they are triggering me. And instead of me being vocal about them, I keep quiet. When you're denying me access to my kids, you take me back to my father that neglected me. So I keep quiet because I don't want to end up saying, but you are making me a horrible husband. I'm trying to be there for my kids, but you are not giving me the platform to be there for my kids. So what I do, out to learn the hour, I say, you know what, I'm saying the assignment. I don't go to both.
Yep.
I stay working. I work long hours because I'd rather not be there for both my kids, because I don't want that kid to say, Daddy loves this one more than me. I don't want this one to say, but Daddy, why are you there with this one? Sure. So I'd rather not be there. And anything that we also need to do as a machita is we need to accept certain situations before we get into marriages to say, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And the person that is taking me with, these are the things. You know, I've got one thing, I've got a trigger point when you shout. Even in a good space. Don't ever say, Tebogo. It takes me to emotions that I don't want. How do I have a problem with Tebogo? And the minute you say Tebogo, it's for me, it's like there's something I've done wrong. So there's a lot of trigger points that we don't talk about.
Yeah.
If you look at Umto's story saying, my dad used to bring a lot of women home. So if you start saying to me, we are Jola, the first point there, so you think I'm like my father. So it changes the conversation that was going to be an innocent conversation, but now it has taken me to that trigger point. That's why I rather keep quiet. I'm short. Don't tell me about my height. Tell me about something I don't know. So if you have battles, don't tell me about something that I cannot fix. And if it's a financial issue, let's sit down and talk about it. And people are laughing at it to say, if you look now, parents, the first thing that chooses school for mama.
Yep.
But mama never speak the budget no baba. We take iskolo say 15,000 and we think that Ubaba will afford iskolo say 15,000. And what does Ubaba do? Ubaba keeps quiet because I want to give my child a better education. The minute Ubaba ati angna mali, also funumtana zofunda lokshin. So now it changes everything to say, so you don't want a better life for my kid. So what I do as a man, I keep quiet. You're fun motionisa, you're fun malone, you're fun in. I didn't hama get sang tatinta boya zerang listen.
Okay. It's a very deep conversation. I think this just requires its own program to talk about this. I wish mama out there could just learn one thing about us as men. And I hope the guys will agree with me. We are the most simplest human beings ever created by God. I say something. God created everything, created Adam, and he said, Adam, you're going to be alone. You need somebody. He created a helper, created a woman, and he said, hey, now there's the helper. Somebody I've created for you. Who shall we call her? And the man said, who? Man? He was appreciating. And God said, woman.
Oh, man! Oh, I get it.
Now,
Oh, man.
all what we need as men is respect and understanding. Because even the Bible says it. Ubaba uyinhloko yekhaya njengoba uJesu eyinhloko yebandla. I mean, we all worship and praise Jesus. Okay, but if Baba is there, not necessarily ukuthi ufuna hero worship, but respect him.
Give me space.
Give me space. That's the space we're crying for. That's the space we need. And that is the space we need as apply gozo in Mondozetu. There is no one solution to fix all in relationship or in marriages. How I solve my problems and how Tebogo solves his problems is different. How Zenzele. And how Bab Zenzele deals with his problems. You cannot compare. So that space and this battles is why all we need is our Makoskas to understand what we are the most simplest things. Give us respect, and we will do everything. If I need my space, I need my space. If you see what I cannot deal with these issues today, I cannot deal with them. Leave it to me. I'll deal with them.
And we must not worry that if I leave you to be, it's like you're not solving problems. You're busy with them in your own way and your own time. You would get them.
Yeah. Ubaba Sibeko ukhulume enye point le comparison. Hey, we are under severe pressure in terms of being compared to other men. Currently, we've got a very bad economic situation in the country, unemployment. So, abo mama mabanga understand nje situation, bafunda nokuaccepta ukuthi isimo siso. Sasithi masikhuluma nabantwana esikolweni sithi bheka ekhaya lakini la uvela khona. Musuku uyicompare nabanye abantwana. Nathi singabo baba even uthola ukuthi uya compare mhlambe nanemali asifani next door bahola imali engakanani mina ngihola imali engakanani kodwa umama uzoba funa izinto ezibeyond lokho esikhona ukwenza uthola sesingena ezikolodini ezingafanelanga izo zonke ezilida ku mental health uthola ukuthi umuntu ungena ezikolodini uyifaka omashonisa ugcina abanye agcina sayibulele omunye umuntu ngenxa ye pressure. So if singa understand the situation abantu bafunda ukuaccept lokho esinakho
not abantu bese asicedelela abantu besifazane our women, the mothers and that female species. So you are just saying we need to learn it. We need to get to a point whereby nathi siyazifundisa to understand isimo and understand the circumstances and work with you within the circumstances.
Yes.
I'm not going to bow down to a king who
doesn't have a title.
So we say all of those things, then we strip it, but then because we're not understanding a situation, we aren't meant to be what they we think or we were told they're supposed to be. What do you want to tell us as women in this situation?
I think I am respect to Mthokozisi Nkosi. Like listen when a man talks to you, because most of the time women want to be the ones talking. That's when we end up getting quiet. Okay, there's another side of me. I have 2 sons. Bandile nolwazi abafana. So mina noma baba usahlukana, we broke up because of about this thing bamazibuko ekhuluma ukuthi this thing of being compared to other men. And then when someone forgets the things that you've done for them, ezinhle. Because now when you don't work, remember I told you in 2016, I took a decision, I'm going to resign from my work because I wanted to pursue my dreams because I actually felt like I was suffocating where I worked. Bengisebenza kahle Bidvest lapha e-airport. Yabona? So, but
Where Bidvest? Where Bidvest?
Still man.
Yeah. Please.
I felt like I'm working there, giving my all, but it's not being reciprocated.
Yeah.
Yabona? So when I resigned, and that's when I resigned. In my resignation letter, I did say, I'm not resigning because I found another job or I found anything. I didn't even fight, and they even made a farewell party for me.
Yeah.
I just told them in my resignation letter, I'm resigning to pursue my dreams. I want to write and publish I'm going to write and publish a book. And that's exactly what I did. This is when this book came out. Then I was staying with baby mom at that time.
Story for another day.
So I told her, which I've decided I'm going to resign. I had just had my first son. Loaz was still small. I had plans with I can take care of him. It's no problem, this one. Because business things is a side thing, I'm a side hustle, I'm a man. She pretended to understand. Yeah, when the ship
But you pretended.
Yeah, she pretended to understand because after the way I was treated after, and then she fell pregnant with a second kid, and I wasn't expecting to have a second kid, and that's when we started. I got angry, you see. But then I came back and I took because that woke me up because my son. When he was born, he went into ICU for 2 weeks, and then this other there was a pastor who was renting a room at home at Tembis. Wangibiza wathi Mtho yazi mfethu khulula inhliziyo yakho sakakhona lo mntwana. The reason why kwenzeka so is because inhliziyo yakho like I'll accept because you were not expecting to do this now because I was planning to even launch my book and now I felt like now this thing is taking me back. And she saw we started getting angry, and stuff. And then until we broke up. And then when we broke up, before we broke up, she compared me to my brother, Ati. Yabona, my brother was building a back room for Yena. I was staying in the house, man. Because that's when my dad had passed away. There's a two with my brother. Yeah, when are you not building anything for your kids? What are you building for your kids? Yabona abangani bakho benzani la ngaphandle wena, what are you doing? And I would say kanti yini into engiyenzayo ngithi I want to do this is what I want to do, this is my work. But people don't understand your dream until they see ukuthi this is what this guy was fighting for. Because if it wasn't for my resilience nokuzipusha kwami, if ngamamela and went back to work, I wouldn't be sitting with you guys today. All this would be gone. But I knew what I wanted, and then broke up. And then that's when the other drama started, when the money was low now.
Yeah.
But then I sorted that one out by saying to her, to Mamela, because every time I see WhatsApp yakhe now, once I see WhatsApp and like I would delete.
I not read.
Because after reading this, I would feel some other way, or I would be angry, and I don't want those emotions because they are messing up. You're messing up my vibe.
You're messing up with my vibe.
Yeah, because I'm on this positivity thing now. You're coming with this negative thing now. As on shift this focus, I delete message because they say sometimes you send a message right. Maybe it's telling me one of the boys, something like one of the boys is sick, and I mean I'm not reading her messages anymore because of the drama and the fights and everything. So at some point I was like, let me talk to this person. I think I sent a voice note or a text. This is not about us. It's about these boys. Because what will happen if we hate each other? These boys will hate me and they will hate you.
Yes.
So kule pool nje ye hate. Yabona. So that's, I know anginamali now. It's not that I don't want to do anything for the boys. You know, I've been doing things for them, even noma ngasebenzi. I would send something. Even during lockdown, I remember I had like 800 left. I would like say to her, as in, because at least the boys are not going to school now. Take the 400 there. I will take this one. Buy what you need to buy. There's someone, I was doing something for someone who was going to pay me. When this guy pays me, I'm going to send enye futhi mali and stuff. Let's not fight. Because even if we fight, we have no choice. It's the situation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this one is sometimes just communication and listening.
So you want us to
Yeah,
to
listen.
You know, I'm listening. Ngilalele. Ngizwa kahle. Something engifuna that okay, I posted ukuthi what would other people want to hear, you know, the conversation and other questions that I may not ask. And you said something about when your partner got pregnant, you were angry. You were not ready. You were not expecting. This is me just asking for understanding and not questioning how you feel. But you were both engaging in a sexual activity where both that could have happened outside of maybe you knew whether there were a preventer or anything else and all that. Good, you were both. Somebody asked a question, good, when or like men and accountability. Good, for me to listen to you, for me to you will then blame, but you're not taking accountability of yes, you are angry. Yes, because you've resigned, and yes, you are pursuing what you are pursuing. But this child, this has nothing to do with me alone. Before you become angry, but where is your own accountability? So any man who is with the woman and there's a sexual activity, guys, there's bound to be maybe a child would come when both of you have not planned. And instead of taking that accountability, kunoqala blame who wanted a child and we didn't want. So let's talk about in terms of mental health and all that, where women can, I think we all asking for that accountability where most men don't maybe take accountability or again open up to say, Ish nami flop yami. Even if nyalwa, but maybe starting with that, take responsibility and accountability first. Then we can deal with the issues and angers and emotion. Because immediately when you said that, the first reaction, manguzwa, is more like, I was angry. But for me, it's like, dude, we're together in this. I know you resigned. You wanted to pursue your dream, but we're still having fun in the house. How are we now?
This is how it happened. On that day, she told me she was pregnant. We were already arguing about something else. You see, and then the moment she pulled out the pregnancy test thing, the anger and the argument continued instead. But then the accountability part, the reason why I say my son went into ICU and spoke to that guy who's a pastor who had a room, that guy told me within 12 I could accept and then I did take responsibility. Which okay, mntwana sekakhona. Nang sekakhona, and then I went to esibhedlela ngiyombona. When I went there, unurse wathi kimi, just go beyafaka umshini vela phefumula ngomshini. I just go and talk to him umbambe ngesandla umtshela ukuthi ngiyamthanda. Yabona. Then when I did that, my son actually smiled. Smiled like with all these machines. I could see this guy smiling.
So you did take that.
I did. Because
okay.
Because even when he was born, I was there in the hospital. I did everything, the birth certificates and everything. I'm the one who went there to fetch all those things. And then I did. Even now, my boys, if you can see them now,
you are there. You are present.
They love me. They even send me voice. I have voice notes of them saying, "Dad, you're the best dad in the world." I even have videos with them. Switch on my video TikTok, and
So with that, because I want to always come back to the whole mental health and all that, so that I'm hoping with these conversations and this platform for me is I've been through it all with my partner and kids, divorce and all that. And, you know, I remember a judge asking me if I really divorcing and laughing at me, you know, because I divorced for other reasons, not divorcing the person and the man or to baba bantwana and all that. And I was like, you're gonna stay with me, take responsibility, and be there until the last born has finished school and started working. Same house. Like, what type of divorce is that? So I've always been that one, maybe woman who would like, let me see you for you and who you are, irrespective of who you are to me and what you can give or you cannot give me. And outside of people asking me, how are you doing it? We're like, there's romance, there's issues, you want to pursue your dream, and possibly your dream has nothing to do with me. And again, it shouldn't change. Abantwana, things are, so there could be all of those things so that we can stand in a gap together. But I want to come back to that. How can men assist with maybe taking accountability to help us to, our gut down, to say, okay, relax, dude. Because there are stories that don't come from men
It
often
depends
enough.
our stories Avela from which angle. There are stories just to shut out, to say, I'm saying sorry because I'm tired of this conversation.
Yeah.
And you've heard it, I'm sure. Most guys will say, oh, you're sorry, didn't mean it. Because it didn't have that power that you really, really, really mean to be sorry. And when it comes to men taking accountability, when every man, when you get into a relationship, one of the things that we say is how many kids you want, at what space, and where are you? So when it happens that it catches you off guard, it doesn't only messes up your plans, but your mental thinking to say, am I ready mentally? It's not that you don't want to take accountability, but am I ready mentally to have another child?
And it's not me fighting with you, Guti Umitele.
Let me tell you, no,
Okay.
it's me saying I'm not ready
Okay.
to have another child. But it's not a conversation that we can't have. As we say, the minute we engage in sexual activity, we know one way or the other there's going to be a child.
Possibility, yeah.
But Tinesa Machita, if I said, I'll give an example. I got married, and for the longest of time in our marriage, we wanted a kid, and we couldn't get a child. Like God decided there's no child in this marriage. And then I went outside and I got somebody pregnant. She's trying to get pregnant, we're not getting pregnant. I go Estratini, she gets pregnant. We did what you did. We went to a court, divorce. Magistrate, you guys don't look like people that are divorcing. I'm not granting you the divorce. We're not granted our divorce. That guy said, you are not divorcing. Ambanios Lungis. Fast forward, I moved out of home because I felt I did something that is not part of me, which is having a child in marriage. Do you know my wife got married? Got pregnant. When she got pregnant, me and I, we were just, I want to see, let's go out for dinner. I came back after dinner. She fell pregnant. That moment, we were not staying together
In the same house.
in the same house.
The relationship was like,
That relationship was not there but the accountability of that, when she came back and said to me, I'm pregnant, I was surprised and shocked because my other son was a year old. So do I say to her, why did you decide to fall pregnant? Yeah, this one is young. Or do I say, are you doing this because this one is pregnant? But in the whole thing, it was, my accountability was, I'm taking accountability of this, but mentally I was not ready to have 2 kids in a space of 2 years. But at the end, I was that father that came out and said, I've got both of you, there's nothing that I can do. And we fixed our marriage.
oh, okay.
8 years later, I got divorced. So, but the divorce was not part of, it was a lot of things. Not the part young one, but a lot of things
And
that
not the
happened.
part of you meeting out
Meeting
of
somebody else.
out
But
of, yeah.
we always take accountability. But as
Yeah.
women, one thing that you also need to be careful of,
Okay.
it's how this pregnancy comes in. It's how these decisions are made. Do you give me time to think about any other decision? Let's take pregnancy away. If you say you're going to buy a car, let's have this conversation of buying a car. If you're going to say, it's at 20,000, let's have this conversation now. Right? We're spending 20,000. If you're going on holiday, don't surprise me and say, we're going to Dubai, but my budget is 4,000, when we pay 50,000, but it's only 50,000. Let it be something that we sit down and discuss. The thing happened. Rekwatisa how it was shared.
Okay.
So let's be careful how,
Okay.
ladies, be careful how you share this message is with us. That doesn't
And how
get me
we
into a
hear
trance.
and how we hear it.
How you hear
How
it
we
is
hear
also
it
very
like
important.
first time, before you balloon ubaste and be angry ukuthi I'm being accused or something is happening, we need to take a step back
Yes.
and hear you and maybe ask the right, this is what I'm hearing, ask the right questions. Like, are you saying now I'm pregnant, is this my problem ukuthi ngiye pregnant because we're now sebenzi? That's, I'm just asking, I'm not saying ukuthi
Yes.
now it's my fault, so that we get to a point whereby
I always
I can hear you
hear it.
to say no
I always say to people,
dealing-
let's learn to listen, pause, and engage.
and engage. Okay.
That's exactly what I want to say. Listening is a skill, folks.
Okay.
Listening is a skill. And we know in communication, we say when you're communicating, even if there can be two of you, there is a communication barrier.
Yeah.
And that barrier does not necessarily have to be sound or much. It could be something that is ringing in my head while you're saying something.
Yeah.
Before you even finish what you're saying, I've got answers already, and that does not make good communication. Now, in order for us to be able to win this battle of relating to each other in communication, especially between husband and wife, is that we need to master the art of communication. Given a chance, clear whatever is on the mind. That's why it is important for Mbogoto or Mama. When we say we're not ready to talk about something, we're not running away from it. Just respect that space, because if we engage immediately when I'm not ready,
Please repeat that slowly.
It's gonna
Oh, Mama, when
crack.
we are saying
we are not ready to talk about something, we are not avoiding talking about it. We're just trying to find a conducive,
and space.
time and space for us to really gather our thoughts so that when we speak.
Okay.
We say it is not what you say that matters, it's how you say it. If you push me to engage in a conversation when I'm not ready, I'm going to
Something else
say.
will come out. Okay. Ooh, so that's where we lose the debate.
Yeah.
Mina, I believe ukuthi in a relationship kunama various values that need to be cultivated before accountability.
Oh.
Like trust. If there's no trust, if there's no communication, there's no transparency, in the finances, transparency in your dealings with other people, you have got something your own dark corner, and the wife has got her own dark corner, and something happens to you because you did something out of sight of unkosikazi wakho.
Yeah.
It's very difficult because accountability is a very big word. You tell abantu bexabana because I want to accept, I don't want to admit
Yes.
ukuthi I'm on the wrong side. But mawuthi uyayibheka leyo nto uthola ukuthi isuka but it has got roots kwi trust. It has got roots ku transparency. Sikhuluma ngamafoni uzokuthiwe my phone is my phone. Awunayi access efonini yami.
Funani efonini.
Kuze abanye bathi bangabe nishadile ifoni yekela unkosikazi abe ne-access abone yabona. So it's a topic for another day. But izinkulumo efana nalezo some of ama fights asuka lapho. Ugcine ngithi mina I'm not wrong. Even ngazi kahle ukuthi I'm on the wrong side.
Yeah.
So ngayithatha accountability. I'm just retaliating because there's no trust, there's no transparency. Now unento zakho. So
I had pasiphume lapho.
Or so another famous word, I'm fine, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Kuthiwa icala umphikwa.
Yes.
And lokho akushiwo ngoba
I'm not judging, I'm
deliberate.
just listening.
akushiwo ngoba ku-deliberate ukuthi icala umphikwa. Kushiwo ngoba kufuna ukudalwa i-peace,
Yes.
ukuthula. You touched on something very important ukuthi you have to have values. Lo mama engiqashe kwakhe bengishade naye my ex-girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend unkosikazi manje. We've been married for 35 years. No, that's my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, because elevated.
Elevated. Levels. Upgrading the girlfriend to wife. We've been married for 35 years. And I keep checking my marriage certificate to see what the expiry date. Maybe there might be a watermark. It's been too long. But we love each other like we met yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, what we've tried, Uguti, see instill the values. I often say, itafula lima on 4 legs. That's trust, that's respect, that's love, and that is Ubuntu. Ubuntu says, respect me for who I am, respect my counterparts, respect my buddies, respect my family, respect everyone that I associate with. But if the devil comes in and step right on the middle of this table, it's going to break. Right at the center, you need then to put the 5th leg being kholo. And people make mistakes. By esontweni, by sonta. Mawusonta into yanqamuka, iye esontweni yokholo. Noma ungayi esontweni, but ekhaya, have sukhutwana sahawu, have your space, know who there is God.
Faith.
Have faith. And that faith is the one that will hold you. It holds the center. So without faith, it's difficult. And faith is one of the pillars that makes a good relationship.
Good home.
Not easy though.
A
It's
good
not
home.
easy. That does.
Sure.
It took 35 years, so you understand.
Yeah, they are a long time.
No,
35
we
years.
see it. We see it and we admire it so much. I think, for me, there's so much more, I think, for women, as in us as girlfriends, as wives, as partners and all that.
Even as mothers and
That's what,
aunts.
for me, that's one part of it. Then the second part is us as mothers. That's why I wanted to separate the two, us as mothers. We are raising men, boys, and we raise them with our own emotional, mental capacity. Now here is one of the questions that come. Here I am, I have this young child, this young man who, no matter what I say or do as a mother to say, na direction, I can see Guti. I know the issue of Guti. With what you said, let me just, before I come back, I had to learn to trust my partner. Hey, yabona standard bank magashaya leya SMS ati bonda ipatalwana. Used to drive me crazy. Until I had to learn the trust me. Where I had to say, if angagezi la ati puma, hayengizothula. That's how I kept quiet mangembona or at least usase phoning loyati awupatalanga. Until yazela endlini. That's when maybe I'll say something. I had to learn ukuthemba ngaleyo ndlela ukuthi let me trust you. Mabangangangeni bangikhiphe, then we are fine. And when we still fine after everything else. But now you have a child as a mother that you wanna temper your child which they will make right decisions. But you can see that they are relaxed boys.
Okay.
Relaxed, possibly substance abuse, and they can see they can see what's going on around you. You are maybe a single parent, you are going through health issues, money, everything that as a woman, as a mother that I'm going through, and here are you. I trust you and I want you to be, and I know you could do better, but you have this boy child who is, I'm living my best life, even though it's not up and down, but nothing is coming out. How as men and how brotherhood, possibly mentors and the spaces that you've been, you at least you were able to find something else in shape it to who you are today. And then we have this, how can you help us as mothers? How do we deal with abantwana bethu babafana and not curse them and shame them or if I was hurt and all that, and you are born struggle and all that, and you are useless and you are this, you are this, you are this, because we want to raise this boys and men, not men don't cry, be strong, humble panda, that everything that we can say as mothers to our, how do we then, from partners I think in Zulu to say trust us, listen, communicate, give us space to think and react the way we want to react. We hear you. Here we are as mothers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very sensitive one. It's a very difficult one. Be that as it may, it takes us back to what we said. You cannot compare umntwana ukuthi wena umntanami unje kodwa umntana kamakhelwane unje. It takes either of the parent to master the art of having access to umntwana. And then it brings the other parent in to work together with the one parent who is easily accessible to umntwana, to both speak the same language yokubakhulisa. Ungathi umama uthi ubaba mangithi uthi hayi ungakhuza umntana kanje ungasho kanje kumntwana. It much as it takes two to tango. So I would say it takes two to tango to dance to the music womntwana womfana. Especially the boy child. Abantwana bafani. And a boy child can also come with influence of some sort, whether uyithole im-affecta la endlini or uyithole ngaphandle. It becomes kuya iyamconfuse ukuthi uphuma kanjani. Ulalela abazali, ulalela amachomi or uyazilalela yena. Remember at that time uyathomba ngesizulu. Uyaqina uba indoda. He also has this macho thing, but I need to make my own decision. It's a very sensitive situation to deal with your Kulusabantana, especially the boy child. You know, it's a tough one.
I think we have to also go back to say, when do we start raising the boy child?
Yeah.
Because we make the biggest mistake of raising a teenager and not raising a toddler. And this teenager do things that he used to do as a toddler without anybody saying
Noticing.
Wrong.
Yeah.
If you look at a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old, you know what? If we did lamliti 1 and 2. And it becomes worse when there's no father figure in the house. And they are given this title that I hate, Ubaba Like Hai. You know, you've heard Abu Sisaba singing, no Baba Sakai. Baba Sakai. So you deciding on the menu based on what your child wants to eat. Now you're elevating this child from being a child to now being the head of the house. And when he starts having a habli at 15, you can't say umkhuze because you have let this child aqala from 10 years. And by the time I'm 15, it becomes very difficult to guide this child. And as Ubaba Shiluguti, it's how we parent.
Yeah.
You know, when one parent says no, let the other parent not say yes.
Okay.
Let's sit down as parents and say, we are cool umfana. And as women also, you need to understand it takes a man to raise a man. Let's not fool each other and say Father's Day, I'm a father, I'm a mother. That notion must also stop. It takes a man to raise a man, because all the challenges that you feel, your first heartbreak as a man, I can tell my son what to look for. You can't. You understand? Your first bad decision, you can't tell him. I can. That's why if you look at most of us, sihlale khoneni for reasons. Ikhona for ichita, abathu ithola kanjani hleze khoneni. That's where everything starts. Abamanje, because banama phone, 90% of them, they don't go out. But you should look at what they post on their content. And as parents, you also need to one day you telephone umntanakho, because you can't parent from a distance.
Yeah.
You need to bring them close and say, my son I can text during the week 8 o'clock. Since when you text me at 8? It's weekday. You should not be having your phone. Ati you have finished writing, so I wanted to say hi, but it's a weekday. According to me, you haven't finished because I don't have your report. But from Friday, you can have a conversation with me. But uhlala no mama umpekile akabambe a phone. So now who's the bad parent? My dad doesn't want me to be on my phone during the week. And I've learned with camps. These boys will tell you, my mother comes back home and sits on her phone and does nothing with me.
Okay.
So you might be staying with your child, but are you parenting this child? Staying with your child doesn't mean you're parenting. You might be available but not present. Uyakubona umntwana every day uyemsebenzini uyabuya ngokwatisile mina as your boyfriend, you come in, you slam the door, uhlala ngalo umntwana kathulambile, take your noodles and food mazama noodles. This child starts having a different mentality. When I call as the father, the first thing I want to speak. Angithi siyalo, umbeke speak and the child is here. The child hears everything that we're fighting against.
Sure.
When your friends call after I've made a mess up as a father, ukhuluma nabo kuphi phambi kwalo mntwana. So this child start having this mindset with my dad is a bad person. So as a man, it's good not to be accountable. As a man, it's good not to be present. As a man, it's good to control yourself. So what we need to do as parents is to call our kids in and say, these are the rules assembly. The values assembly must not end between the two of us. These values that trust, respect, love, ubuntu, and faith must be shared with our kids so that akana 15, ohlala nayo boys, una 15 manje, unecheri.
Masakana 20.
Akumelanga umlinde abe na 20 because the problem we make, we leave them as toddlers, ushisitsha sakhe la, uyahamba, akawashi izitsha. Akana 17 uzothi washisitsha. But when this boy was 7, I went to a camp with one boy, I made them wash dishes. He was 12. He said, this is the first time I washed my own dish. At 12. So, umama uthini idla, she played. Awungena emarumini abafana, parents do that. Ngena emarumini abafana from the sneakers to amasokisi ahlezi phansi. They weigh underpants kayi-3 instead of taking it out and wash it.
Yeah.
Because they thinking it's the right thing to do.
So in essence, we can't start late.
No.
If lo muntu sekana over 20 and all that, the whole parenting
It's done, it's
is
gone.
done, is gone. I think we have about 5-10 minutes because it's 4. Time flies, eh?
It's 4.
Yes. I know we started at about 4:15, but time flies. Let's wrap it up. Men's mental health awareness. Help even other men. Just your parting shot about the awareness and taking care of yourself as a person, finding other people to talk to, or whatever the case in Zelelo, that because I think you are here today as men. And I like that ispace senu songe. You are men that go out and help others and teach others through books, through the talks. Babus Bego, I know I always comment everything when something is happening out there. He's vocal on social media about almost everything that is happening in the country. So there's something that I think you got right somewhere, and you are still here with everything that, because I didn't know there were questions about grief that I had, but we've spoken about a lot of how your lives have been shaped, and you are here today. Parting short, how do we move? Men, how can they move, and how can we help each other to take care of our mental spaces?
I think I can't say go back and fix that little boy. But what you can do, because I know within every man, there's that little boy. That's why sometimes uzositshela ukuthi ushada indoda kanti ushada lo mfana lo ya. Yakuhlanyela lo mfana lo yana ama 50 la. Because azange adile nama issues wakhe asasemncane. Azange futhi abe nelakhe ukuthi akhona ukuzidilela nalawo ma issue nje like I was able to do. But there are also certain situations where I also need to sit with people who have been to where I want to be as a man. Like find yourself a mentor, someone who can be your sounding board, or khulume naye mawunenkinga. A woman, I have a mentor and we talk. Now he also talks about his own stuff. Nami, I can advise him on certain things. And then when I have a problem, because I know he's been married now for many years. So I can ask him about relationships. Hey, as I'm dealing with this. Find that person. And not just for yourself. One thing I don't want to be to my kids what my father was to me. So even if it means, if you see umtanako, find him a space somewhere, maybe someone who can mentor him. Even if it means paying that person to mentor your boy. You see? And the tinabazala asikwenzi lokho.
Thank you.
Uvela uthi hayi akamameli lo. Unje vele ufuza ubabakhe. Noyihlo wayenje. Yabona? Mina ngikhule ekhaya abogogo bathuka inhlamba every day. Mawuthi ulambile, hamba utshela uyihla ukuthi uhlule kule goli. Bana babe abenzi next la hlupha thina la. And umntwana at that age, i-brain yomntwana, sikhuluma nge-brain la ngaphandle my sister. Ngithi i-brain yakho i-shape wa, especially ngithi ama dysfunctions ethu as men. are shaped by the presence or absence of the man who fathered us. Yabona? So when I was telling you to ukhulile and you still going everywhere with that little boy uhlala khala every day. You see, you see that boy who's angry.
Yeah.
Yabona, if I didn't forgive my father before he passed away,
You would
I'm
be
telling you, my
somewhere
life would be like messed up. Maybe ngabe ngiyadaba somewhere or ngabe ngiphume iminyawo somewhere.
Somewhere
But I thought before, let me go to and I went to him. Ngambamba ngesandla ngamxhawula nge200 asebholeni abukela ibhola. Ngathi uzongithola endlini.
Sure. Parting shot.
Engakusho nje lokho general lokho sikhulume ngakho izinto eziningi ezenzekayo in adult life zisuka ku childhood. That is why khona umunye wakhuluma wathi manhood is rooted in childhood. So fanele sikhumbule singabantu ukuthi what happens in your childhood has got a bearing somewhere in your life.
Manhood.
Yes, in manhood. But that does not mean ukuthi if your childhood was messed up, I'll say no chance you will change the trajectory of your life. There is hope
there's hope.
all the time. Just like Jawati Kuluma
too.
but it takes the intention of one to change the life around. It's just it's not accidental.
Sure.
So if ever Baba was good, you have gone through some tough times in your youth, you witnessed mhlampe abuse a family, you witnessed poverty a family, but you're still here. uNkulunkulu sakubekile usaphila. Unayo yonke into, you have got a sound mind, nomzimba uyaphila. Mhlampe uyasebenza. Use those resources to change the trajectory of your life from being messed up phinde futhi uthola ukuthi
To be a better person.
yeah, a better person, to look to by example to other people. It's possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fair. Parting shot.
Well, my parting shot is that mental health is critical to isn't that too? Performance,
Yeah.
leadership, and relationships. Sure. Performance is how you carry on from your day-to-day activity. How do you perform, Jawena, as a person?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you run your life and how do you deal with issues? Leadership, very critical, because leadership does not mean you're leading people. Self-leadership, how do you lead yourself? Because in your life, you need to be able to plan the things that you want to do. You need to be organized. And you need to take control of the things. And relationships, how do you deal with the relationship? Sure. And the first relationship you need to deal with is with yourself. Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to be controversial. Okay. You cut it, you keep it, it's up to you.
Okay.
November 2025 has been taken away from men when it comes to mental health. This was supposed to be a month where men are celebrating their mental health, but there's a purple movement that has taken that away from men, where it has taken away how men feel about things that are happening in this country. And now it's women are being killed every day, which we sympathize with them every day. We hate it every day, but I feel another month could have been chosen.
Yeah.
To speak about genocide. There's 16 days of activism that is coming.
Immediately.
That could have waited for 16 days of activism. When men in green were out saying, we also been killed. Nobody said, let's speak about men being killed. I have a video I'll share with you of men that were killed by their partners. And nobody's saying anything. I've got a friend who lost a friend through that friend being stabbed by the partner. And when it comes to mental health, we as men, we're very sad. If you look at it, we are the highest that commit suicide because of we can't say how we feel as men. We deal with a lot of anxiety and anxiousness in our lives where we don't know what's going to happen. You know, the first person of but your partner will never ask you what you have in your hand to protect us. And the last thing is we are depressed by what we see. We hate reading about men killing women. I hate it. But when we supposed to be dealing with us, now we are dealing with how do we come up with a solution to protect our partners? How do we come up with a solution to protect ourselves? That has been taken away from us in November 2025, where mental health has been put down. And that's when you come back and say, who cares about the man? Who cares about the boy child? Does society really care about how we feel as men? Our voice is heard, or nobody cares about our voices? Because this is our time. Let us deal with our mental health issues. We drink every day. We kill every day. We are depressed every day. Performances that are not being affected. We can't even lead ourselves. How do we sit down and have conversations when the purple flag is all around us?
Yo.
Goosebumps, conversations with the Pumzela, the girl next door. I am not going to add, I'm not going to subtract, but men, we say menopause, menstruation, every woman's problems start with men. Again, where are we as women for those men so that those problems from men can stop for us? Let's hear them. To the next episode.